I just sprayed soda everywhere. Hey everyone. So I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions on the PlayStation Vita since I got to play it for a good hour yesterday. And I have some good news. It's a lot of fun, alright? Now, I was slightly, this much, slightly disappointed, but it was what I expected anyway. The Vita's fun, and it's impressive, the technology behind it, but still, you're playing on a portable game console, and you're not going to be pouring hours into it at one time. Most of you all will probably have expected that already, but you know how when you're really excited to play something and you finally get to play it, and then you're really like, that excitement just draws down, you're like, oh, this is kind of what, I thought it was going to be like, and it's like you're playing it. I actually have my PSP right here, so it's like you're playing it, right? And all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Okay, I'm bored now. And that's kind of how I felt after playing it for like a straight hour. I tested a couple games out there. I thought they were going to actually give us the full retail games, so I was just going to be playing Uncharted the whole time, but it's just demos. They weren't really full retail versions. But the technology behind it is impressive. The screen's vibrant, and it's really crisp. Like, the detail in playing games like Uncharted is like console quality. Let me tell you, the graphics, the art style for Uncharted 2, it kind of had the graphics and the art style of like Uncharted 2, and then the gameplay was more similar to the first Uncharted, alright? Now, for those of you who don't know, Uncharted Golden Abyss is a prequel to the Uncharted franchise, alright? So this takes place before Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and it's basically leading up. If you watched Uncharted Eye of Indra, the motion comic, which was sort of like a build-up to the first Uncharted, it was basically explaining what events happened, and then all of a sudden it led up to, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. This takes place way before that, alright? So it's a prequel, and I'm playing the game, and I have footage of it, as you may have saw, and the graphics are really good for a launch title on a system. And they made it, and the studio, it's Ben's studio, it's not Naughty Dog who's making this game, but for a portable game system, you're getting a console quality experience. I was playing it, and I'm just like, wow, the graphics are really detailed, really action-packed gameplay, and the frame rate was perfect. I didn't even notice the frame rate drop at all. It was running in a pretty smooth 30 frames per second. I didn't notice any frame rate problems whatsoever, which I was kind of concerned about before playing the game. Now, one thing I will say, and this seems to only happen with Uncharted Golden Abyss, one thing I will say is that there is a slight but noticeable input lag. When you're aiming your gun, right, and you're moving your analog stick over, and you'll have the gun pointing, you move it over to let's say you move it over to here, alright? You'll move it over there, you'll let go of the analog stick, and then he'll move a little bit over. So, and I noticed that when jumping and stuff, I kind of had to hold it, press it, wait for him to do it, and press it again, wait for him to do it. It was just a slight input lag that I found with Uncharted Golden Abyss, and I tested this out with Wipeout to see if it was all, let's say it was a different game, and Wipeout was handled perfectly, no input lag on that at all. So it seems to only happen with Uncharted Golden Abyss, and to be honest, it may be an issue that they already passed, because when we finally start playing the game, when I finally start playing the game, there might have been an update or something like that, when like a game update, and they could probably fix that in a game update. It'll probably be really simple. So, but yeah, I just noticed that slight input lag. One thing I will mention, the thing is light. Take a PSP 3000 series, that's how light this is. This is the original PSP. It's lighter than this. It's bigger and lighter than this. So when I picked the thing up, I was like, jeez, it's that light? Because I didn't really notice it, I didn't really think it was going to be that light, but it's incredibly light. Easy to pick up. It still feels like a, I gotta clean this screen screen off before spots occur. It still feels like it's a what's the word I'm looking for? A fragile piece of equipment. It still feels like that. If you're gonna throw it across the room, of course, it's probably gonna break or damage it. But again, it feels really good in the palm of your hands. It's a little bit wider than the PSP, and that's due to the screen and all the stuff they have to put on there. But it's much lighter. It's much more comfortable. It's much more comfortable on your hands. It has the front glossy finish like the PSP. It has that only on the front, and then on the back it has a glossy finish for the back touch panel. But the rest is all like. The rest is pretty much this texture on the back of an original PSP. It's just that texture. It's really easy to grip, and you don't feel your hands all slipping off. You know, you actually do feel like, you know, you're. You actually do feel like, you know, you're carrying something that's not going to slip. You know, you get what I'm trying to say. All right. One thing I will say is the buttons are small. They're smaller than the PSP. And I noticed that because the analog sticks are about the same size as the regular analog, the one analog stick here on the PSP, but on the Vita, the buttons are really small. They're not incredibly small, but they are significantly smaller. When you pick it up in your hand for the first time, you're going to be like, oh, these buttons are really small, and you kind of have to adjust to that. I didn't find myself having any problems with it, though. The buttons, you know, were fine. They all pressed fine. The analog sticks were working perfectly. The analog sticks do not have buttons, so you're not going to get your R3 or L3 buttons on there. It's fine. For Uncharted Golden Abyss, for a lot of people don't notice, but the Uncharted series in general has your reload as the R2 button. But if you actually paid attention, you can actually reload using the, I believe, the down button on the D-pad. And for Uncharted Golden Abyss, that's how you reload. You have to press down on the D-pad to reload, which is fine. It was an optional way to reload on the console versions. For Uncharted Rift's version, I believe it did happen with Uncharted 2, and I'm not sure about Uncharted 3. But they always had an optional reloading button for Uncharted on the consoles. And for, I think it may have been up. I'm not really sure, but on the Vita, it was down to reload. So I felt like pretty much when you're playing Uncharted, you're going to get that, okay, I'm pretty much used to controls. If you played the console versions, you're going to be familiar with how the game works and everything like that. As far as touchscreen responsiveness, completely responsive. It has the responsiveness of an iPhone. It's literally that responsive, and I really like that. Simple swipe up and down the screen. It recognizes everything. I didn't have to tap things, you know, more than once to get my to get the screen to recognize my fingers. It really responded to what I was pressing, and it was easily, you know, responsive, navigating through the home screen and everything. What I really like about the Vita is the way you can quit games and join a new and start a new one at any time. It has tabs open similar to a web browser, for instance. On your home screen you have tabs, and those tabs can be a game running in the background, they can be an internet website running in the background, and instead of pressing OK, the home button, oh yes, quit game, and then, you know, quitting game like that, you press the home button, it'll bring you back to the main menu, right, instantly. Like, you don't even have to wait. It instantly brings you back, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm having really difficulty playing this level of game. Home, and it brings you back. You just go back to your home screen, press the internet browser, you look up some facts or, you know, some helpful tips on how to defeat this boss battle, for instance. Oh, okay, I didn't notice that before. And you go back to the game and you press on the game, and immediately it'll start you back where you left off. It's that easy, and it's really fast. So, get messages. So, really easy, really, it's really easy just to quit games and start something else whenever you want. To close tabs, it's pretty simple. All you're going to be doing is, you're going to see a little flip on the page for your application, right? And you just flip the thing down, you just basically tear the page off of the screen, and then it'll just go back to, you know, it'll just quit the game and, you know, save your progress. I'm sure it's going to have some autosave feature, but yeah. The speakers itself were really good. really, I noticed that the sound, they are just regular 2 speakers, it's not like you're getting surround sound on like a portable system, but they're really loud, they're pretty good, they're pretty decent, and, yeah, the speakers were definitely, pretty good. I didn't test out I did not test out the microphone because I couldn't get on the internet. There was no Wi-Fi they had enabled for the area, which is kind of unfortunate, but, they're only demos of games anyway. And then the camera, they had the front and back camera, which I didn't get to test the back, but I did test the front, and as you guys saw, when I was playing Wipeout, they wanted me to start taking a picture of myself for the race, because when the race ends in Wipeout, they're going to have a picture. The thing is, they're going to have a picture of yourself in the, in the race. So basically, if you win, you'll have a picture of yourself pop up so everyone can see. People are making jokes like there's going to be like 40-year-old penises like on the thing, but I'm sure they're going to have some way of, hopefully they're going to have some way of security, because I swear, that's not going to be lovely to see. But yeah, pretty responsive controls. Pretty responsive controls depending on the game. Responsive touchscreen, lightweight system, but still feels like a delicate piece of equipment. Small buttons. Battery life wise, I only played it for an hour, like I said, but I don't know that much about it. Speakers are good. Pretty much, yeah. So, I mean, it feels... Here's the thing. After playing it for an hour, I can't see myself playing it for more than 2. Alright? Unless the game's just incredibly awesome. And it's a portable system, and I think that's the reason why. You're playing on the portable handheld system, you're not playing on a console full screen on your HD TV, So after playing with it, I definitely like it, and I'm still going to be getting it. However, if you haven't actually if you're personally excited for it but you can't afford it right away, do not feel bad. All right, please don't feel bad that you can't get it right away, because really, when you start playing it, you're going to be like, oh, I could have waited for this. It's just the excitement dies down kind of quickly. At least for me, and like I said, I didn't have the full, games on the Vita, so that may change, but as of right now, it's good. It's a really good piece of equipment. Still gonna be getting it. Probably still gonna be getting Uncharted and Wipeout 2048 on release day, and then we're just gonna go on from there, right, guys? So when the Vita comes out, I'm gonna be doing a massive unboxing of it, and I'm even going to be doing a hardware review on the thing after I get to know it for a couple, days or weeks, depending on how much I want to get in there. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. And, yeah, fun system, but didn't really keep me that entertained for that long, or as long as I expected it to be. Alright, guys, thanks, see ya.